You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me?
Did you know the cool guy's coming? Did you know the cool guy's coming? Did you know the cool guy's coming? Yeah! Did you know the cool guy's coming? Did you know the cool guy's coming? Did you know the cool guy's coming? Yeah! All right. It's 4:10 a.m. I got up a couple hours ago, 2 hours ago. I just wanted to get on and play. Yeah, let's do some early morning stuff. get the morning going. This is strange. Streaming this early, it just feels everything's different energy. I figured some people, if they get notified, might be from parts of the world normally they wouldn't be able to see the other streams. So, yeah, so then we would just give them an opportunity if they wanted to jump in. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think I did a stream early, maybe 3 a.m., 4 a.m. once before, like a long time ago. And then some people from Japan showed up and said that, you know, the timing was good for them. Yeah. So here we go. I got some nice pumpkin spice incense filling the air. It's really, I always prefer that scent. It's quite nice. Let's get the reverb out of the way. There we go. Take a bit of a moment. Now here's the pumpkin head. 1 second here. That. Okay, that's good. So let's check out the pumpkin head view. There we go. So I did a bunch of yard work yesterday, or the day before. Raked all the leaves, mowed them, and then they were collected into this bag, and then I toss them all over the raised garden bed so that it could absorb the nutrients, so I could grow squash again next year. All right. Am I missing the metal? Am I missing them, or in like the emotional sense? Nah, not really. I just, in order to keep playing, I had to use fingernails, I guess. Oh, right on. Finland, 9 a.m. Yeah, so Roberta, yeah, that's the thing. Am I missing them? Nah, not really. I mean, I had to give them up in order to keep playing, which means I give up one aspect of the sound, and then I'm able to sort of play in this other way that I couldn't, because then the finger picks lock it into a certain style, dynamic range, I guess. Can't play as fast without them, but I was okay with that. Karaganda. Okay, so let's see here. Where is that? I'm going to look this up. Kazakhstan, okay. Looks like you got some rain coming tomorrow. All right. Shaldana, Alberta. Okay, so you're probably, what time is it there? Is it 3 hours behind me? Probably, I think so. Maybe 4. It's like just either midnight or 1. So late night for Shaldana. All right, let's see if I can do this one here, which is bounce 2. We got how would I pronounce that? Miarchiev from South Korea. How you doing? Welcome. Can you, Stephen, was something in the way? No, I don't think I can. I mean, I suppose I could if I devoted myself to it. The tuning, Walter Sobchak, 8886. And it is in open D down a semitone, so open C sharp major.
switch it up here. I had like a giant coffee, so I'm gonna have to take one moment here. I'll be back in 1 sec here. I'll throw something on while I switch guitars and take care of that. All right, hold on. Let's do, hey, let me just find something first. Let's do, okay, 1 second here, I'm gonna find this. Here we go. I'm gonna throw this on just while I take like 2 minutes.
And I've rented the house on Haunted Hill tonight so that my wife can give a party. A haunted house party.
There, I got the other guitar set up, tuned up, ready to go. Okay, now let's see what's going on here. Shazam? Oh, interesting. I didn't know it did that. Inspiration from gaming music? No, probably because I don't really play them as much anymore. So no, I wouldn't say I do. No, you know what I prefer? Actually, I prefer hard dance, like Bass Hunter. Yeah, that's what I like, old Bass Hunter. And I'll share with you a playlist. Hold on a second here. Where is it? Oh, here it is. I've shared this before, and other people, have seen this. But in terms of, oh, come on, yeah, don't want that popping up. Now, here, there is the playlist that I listen to. So that's probably, I get more inspiration now from that. But that's only for now. That's my current MP3 player playlist when I go running in the morning. Let me just what do we got going on here? Let me go back to this window. Okay. Not bad for way early for something in the morning. Okay, so now, what do I want to open up with here? Oh yeah, I have to go to C or B minor because I'm in open C down a semitone, open B, and I want to make that B minor because I want to do carrot anemia. Same set list I've been practicing on all the different streams. Now this guitar I prefer, I think, to the others because it has this pickup system here. It has a little bit more, I don't know, energy to it, a bit more It's a bit more, it's hotter, so to speak. And I had to get one of the piezos replaced, the high E string. So now it's nice and equal in volume. It dipped in volume for some reason, so I had to get them to send me a new one, and someone soldered it in, so we're good to go. That's working. Yeah, that's weird. I'm looking at the stream, and it's like in the past. Whatever. Let's keep going. Let's see here. Yeah, Dota, Walters. Do I use vocals as inspiration? No. Honestly, the music that I liked with vocals in it, the vocals are cheesy. Like, I consider most vocals I've ever heard to be cheesy. They're things that I would never sing. That's probably why I can't do singing for an audience, because it's like, you got to be into it. You got to like look at the audience and like sing it like you mean it. And it's like, I would never sing those lyrics. In fact, if I wanted to say something, I would just write it out. Like, it would be like a condensed idea. It wouldn't be, like, I don't know, whatever the vocals. I mean, because some of the stuff is like, the vocals are pretty cheesy, but I like the trance music and the hard dance and, melody behind it. And I just sort of like, I don't sing along with the vocals. I hear them as just tones that are just part of, the piece. I don't hear them as the meaning that they are, because I wouldn't be excited about that. Welcome, Nutmeg. You know what I mean? Yeah, like the way that they sing it with like being into it, I guess that means the audience might need that, but I would never sing that. I would never be excited about that, I guess. But they have to do something with it, I guess. Like, for example, I don't know, old techno trance tunes, maybe from the 90s. They'll have like some techno tunes, hard dance. They'll have like a really good chorus, but then they'll have this other part that comes in that sounds like rapping in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, and so it'll be like a really good chorus, and then okay, what's this all about? I don't know if that makes any sense. Carrot anemia. I'd like to figure out a way to play along with the remix version to do that live, but there's so much going on in it. Synth, all the beat and the synth and everything. I don't know how I could sort of do anything other than just sort of like a light addition. And so the purpose would be just so I could enjoy like broadcasting it live because I like it. That would be it. But I don't know. It wouldn't really focus so much on the guitar. It would be like I'm just going to put minimal stuff into this because I want to, I don't know, broadcast this. Thanks very much, Sufian, if that's how I pronounce it properly. Yeah, Myarchiev. It does. It fits. Yeah, it totally does fit with Halloween. Especially the. See what we got here. Oh, we got some people coming. Not bad for like 4:20 to 5 in the morning. And then some people tune in and out because they're like, "Oh, screw this, too late, or too early, maybe." So I'm going to stick to the stuff I have been practicing because I don't want to take on too many requests that I don't know this early in the morning. Okay, I want to do bounce. That one works. So we've got some people from Kazakhstan, Alberta, Maine, South Korea, Finland, Morocco, among others. Okay. And use a bit of this. It's still a bit chilly in here. There. So it feels clammy and weird. Better. Okay. Let's see if we kind of dreaming in Dortmund. I could see her. Okay, I'm just trying to remember the riffs, and then, okay, then it goes. Okay, so I'll do some of the riffs from it. Was there a tune where I got musical inspiration from a dream? I wouldn't say directly. Now the dream world, I don't really get. Do I get music in the dream world? Not really. I've heard it in the dream world, but not enough to to remember it. I usually get weird sleep paralysis. Like for example, one time I came to and I was like aware, looking around the room, and then there was some female figure sitting on the bed, cross-legged, looking at me, and I was like, okay. And then she went like this, and then tapped my inner thigh, poof, like that, poked it, as though like some sort of like playful gesture. And I woke up, and at the same moment, that exact spot, my body twitched, and I had like a muscle spasm. Okay, one sec, I gotta clear my throat, and I don't want to blast everyone with that sound up close in the mic. There we go. I'm getting a handle on this mute button here. Okay. Let's see here. I'll do it riff by riff, but it's not going to be. It's been a while, so. Probably should have played it slower. I was playing it spazzy, but it's the general idea. All right. Okay. Yeah. So we've got. Yeah, I'm going to have to throw these out, though. Here, I'm going to show you again. I'm going to have to throw these out soon because they don't last too long inside. Paganini in Spain, I don't recall that. Yeah, I don't remember that. Goes. That's harder to do with the thumb pick and the finger pick. With the finger picks, that was just easy. But it just was natural to do it slower otherwise. But yeah, I haven't played that one in a while. Paganini in Spain. Okay, I want to do bounce. All right. Yeah, you see, Miarchiev, on one hand, the finger picks were like a style that's like really unique and a sound that's hard to duplicate. But at the same time, it locks you into a specific sound, and you lose some dynamic range and tonal quality, I think, to a degree. And I think with and I think with nylon string, there's more of like an intimate touch with it. Can shape it a bit more, but it doesn't get as hardcore and techno-y either. Miarchiev, Ogutaro 5000, that was years ago. That was in some town in New Jersey. There was an open mic, and Yeah, I have the name of the place written down somewhere, but I played the open mic, and then he was like, hey, come back into this back room somewhere. And then he had his guitar back there and started playing with his signature sound with like the spam lid and the rhythm. And then shot a video of just jamming over the Tetris theme. So it was random. He just happened to be somewhere. We had no idea who each other were. Okay. The original Bounce. I brought back Bounce 1 and 2 from the depths of Repertoire Graveyard. Okay, now. Let me just take a look here at how we're doing. What's going on here? Am I seeing this correctly? I think I'm getting bunk readings. Anyway, let me just take a look over here. Okay. Lil Lamonka Mietka. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Okay. I think I just got like some sort of network hop or something where the readings suddenly changed, and see, it went down to like 3 viewers, and now we're saying we're at 32. There's no way that just, so I was just getting weird readings. Okay. All right. I want to go over again some of the changes that I made, just minor changes in I Know Your Pain Too. A little hammer on, and then this part especially. I would do, would I switch it to, and then I think it sounds better on the nylon string to do it that way. Oh, TikTok streaming? Maybe, yeah. Because you know what was interesting about that is there was a lot of passerby viewers, like 7,000 hearts or whatever out of the blue. Yeah, out of the blue, people were just stopping in. And it's actually like a different age range. Some of them were like, I was in grade 5 when you first started putting music out. And so it's like playing for a different generation. Okay, now, see if I remember. Okay, I gotta. Miko's talking about that 16th bass note pattern. The thing is that that was so much easier with the finger picks. I could do it way faster with minimal effort. With just fingernails, it requires like more focus, and then sometimes it's like it'll hit the nail, and other times it's, if I can get it, the fingertip will suffice. But for it to be fingernail only, it has to be like super precise, which is kind of, yeah. But yeah, no, that was I think I first discovered that one in like the I Know Your Pain era, yeah. What does it go again? That's probably when I first did it, Red Army Love Potion. Yeah, it was 2008 when I discovered that, or when I figured out how to use that, you know, in some context. I got, I don't know, like 1,500 diamonds or something I didn't even know what that meant, but 1,500 for the first stream. And I don't know. I think it was a decent amount of views. Any tips for that pattern? Maybe just to isolate the M and the A finger from what's going on over here. So, you know, so you can have control over the M and the A, and then, well, that's going on at the same time. Well, that uses, Resorium uses that. Yeah, I forgot that one. No, I forget Resorium, but I remember the... Yeah, no, it's been too long. I played that live like twice. Years ago. London, UK, all right on. 24th. That used to be on the set list, but I don't know, I'm all Paganini'd out. I was so... I played so much of it. And I just couldn't keep up, I don't know, the same zest for it. See if we can do that one. Yeah, no, there's a few, let's see here. Let's see if we can address some of these things here. 2 a.m., Sheldana has to go to work. Totally understandable. Developing the speed for the 16th bass. No, yeah, no, the speed is kind of like just keeping tension at bay. Because, I mean, this speed is a weird thing. Like, sometimes tension can make it happen, but it makes it happen in a sort of like a false sense of security where you're just kind of pressing ahead but without control over it. Yeah, it's like you're going faster than you can actually control it, but you can only do it in hyper bursts. So when it comes to the speed, you're going to want to be in complete control over each movement, almost like zooming into a high level of resolution. And honestly, prioritize really. Like honestly, I have to take my own advice on this when I play, because I tend to get hyper when I play for people, and then I have to just kind of start calming things down in order to actually play the way that I'd like to in front of people. Is that you have to prioritize rhythm over the speed. And then, so one of the things that one of my teachers taught me in classical was that if your rhythm is locked in, it has the illusion of sounding faster than it is, something like that, as opposed to just the hyper bursts of energy. So yeah, prioritize rhythm control, and then a little bit more speed will go a longer way to the ear, I think. Okay, now. Yeah, the new parts of Evan Williams, the new parts of the I Know Your Pain extension. What are some of the... There's a bit of a stretch here that can be... And this part. That part. There. Yeah, that one's kind of tough. And anything else that kind of maybe... Here's not too bad, if you can do the stretch. If you can do the stretch, it's not too problematic, although... That was kind of weird. To go from there to extend the bar, and then get the pinky down. So yeah, Miko, in terms of the rhythm, prioritize rhythm over speed. And when the rhythm is locked in, a little bit more speed goes a long way, as opposed to bursts of energy that push the tempo high. But then it's sort of like, with that mode of practicing, then each live show that's done is just going to depend on like how well you can manage walking the tightrope. And just hope for the best, kind of a thing. And then that's a high anxiety environment. And so I'm about dialing the speed back, because like hyper bursts of energy for speed, they're difficult to control. Never played the violin, no. Mirchev, never played the violin. 1 second here. Yeah, the variation version. First time he heard it. Do you know anything that uses the technique that Dominic Ferrasca uses, where he syncopates a hammer or pull off with another string? No, I don't know anything about. What I do is fairly basic, just plucking the strings, and then some index thumb stuff. Nothing too wild. Nothing hyper percussive. Can I palm mute the bass strings easily without a thumb pick? How do I keep muting the bass string so quickly? So no. Not easily, because before it was like a thumb pick and then finger picks, and then part of the deal for the sound that I got was a constant palm mute position, and that's what it sounds like without the thumb pick. But with a thumb pick, it's like boom, then it sort of sounds like an actual hard dance tune. So what I do, for example, sometimes I'll do it with a palm mute or without. So with Best Friend, sometimes I'll go a little bit lighter. But the problem with it then is that if I go faster than that, it loses control just because of the looseness of the strings, and just without the thumb pick, I can't do it as quickly. So I have to bring the tempo down. because then I would have to snap it quicker and then it starts to hurt. So I have to sort of... But with the palm muting without the finger picks, it's easier to fly off the rails, just because, I don't know, that whole technique worked like with that setup, and I'm just trying to make it work with what I'm doing now, because I can't do it anymore. The finger picks, I mean, they work for a while, but if with that fixed position of palm mute plus like banjo clawing with raging hyper thumb picking, I think anyone, if you're to use those finger picks and like push it to the level that I did with being, hyper and trying to be, quick and with a lot of force, anyone would blow their arm out with that. It's like it's a time limited experience. So if you want to have that sound, it's somewhat unnatural. Like no one gets to have that sound forever. And I kind of knew that actually when I first started using those finger picks. I'm like, this probably isn't going to last forever, because I can already feel that it's, like when I was doing it, that it's very taxing on the arm. And there's certain things you can do, like, I went to physiotherapy when I was like 22 for just like, was it a ganglion cyst or just like tissue accumulation from classical guitar? And they did ultrasound on my hand right here. And what she told me, the physiotherapist, was that I had a natural flexibility that's more than most people in terms of, the way I can move my limbs. And because of that, I would need to do some sort of resistance training to build muscle that would bind the tissue to the bone, so to speak, something like stronger supporting muscles. Otherwise, with repetitive activities, I would cause an accumulation of micro tears, which could lead to tendonitis and whatever those types of injuries. So yeah, exactly. McKeg 983's got it. So, but sometimes the thumb picking without the finger picks, it'll hit like a sweet spot some days when I'm playing. But then some days it feels a little more strange, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? It's eluding me. Could be a few things that are happening there. Maybe the feel that's needed for it to sound a certain way has to be all the conditions have to line up exactly, and then I'm in the comfort zone, and there we go. And then it could be sometimes maybe I'm getting like memories of playing it the other way, and then when those synapses are firing, my thumb's like doing it, and it's like, well, wait a second, there's no thumb pick there anymore. So I have to fight like the other ingrained programming. Something like that, maybe. So yes, Miarchev, no more thumb pick as well. Okay, so let's do... Might as well do Best Friend. All right, and then I gotta take a quick break because I had a huge coffee earlier. I never played Quake Champions. I played Unreal Tournament, and I haven't played it lately because they started playing too late at night for me because I go to bed early, and so that started around like 2020. I started going to bed at like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and then sometimes as early as like 4 o'clock for a while. Getting up super early, like 12:30 midnight or 1 in the morning. I'd get up, which would be great if I was ready to tour Europe or something. Because then I would just fly over there and be ready to go. No need to adjust. But yeah, they started to play too late. And I just, haven't been playing lately. Probably wouldn't be very good because it's been over a year since I was playing it. Unreal Tournament. All right, so let's see here. We've got... All right. Okay, so Porcupine Dilemma was a Schopenhauer. Let's check this out. So the Porcupine Dilemma is a Schopenhauer philosophy. It's a Schopenhauer metaphor, or the Hedgehog Dilemma. Okay. On one cold winter's day, a number of porcupines huddled together quite closely in order, through their mutual warmth, to prevent themselves from being frozen. But they soon felt the effect of their quills on one another, which made them again move apart. Now, when the need for warmth once more brought them together, the drawback of the quills was repeated, so that they were tossed between two evils, until they had discovered the proper distance from which they could best tolerate one another. Thus, the need for society, which springs from the emptiness and monotony of people's lives, drives them together, but their many unpleasant and repulsive qualities and insufferable drawbacks once more drive them apart. The mean distance which people finally discover and which enables them to endure being together is politeness and good manners. Whoever does not keep to this is told in England to keep his distance. By virtue thereof, it is true that the need for mutual warmth will be only imperfectly satisfied, but on the other hand, the prick of the quills will not be felt. Yet whoever has a great deal of internal warmth of his own will prefer to keep away from society in order to avoid giving or receiving trouble or annoyance. As a general rule, it may be said that a man's sociability stands very nearly in inverse ratio to his intellectual value. To say that so-and-so is very unsociable is almost tantamount to saying that he is a man of great capacity. Solitude is doubly advantageous to such a man. Firstly, it allows him to be with himself, and secondly, it prevents him being with others. An advantage of great moment, for how much constraint, annoyance, and even danger there is in all intercourse with the world. And there's also, I think I remember a part of him talking about how, so the irony is that people desire closeness with others, but then when they get close to each other, they're like porcupines. They're like, oh, what's this? And then they're trying to figure out, and he also says that those types of needs are never actually met. They're only, they're met synthetically or maybe through some sort of simulation environment where you have to adjust your beliefs in order to believe that you're getting whatever it is that you desire or want, when in reality, you're taking a substitute. So, I mean, it also... It's the human paradox of wanting to be close with others, yet at the same time being repelled by them, and that's a very strange. What a strange predicament that is. I long to be close with someone, but then get away from me. I can't stand this. I mean, that's a weird design for the human species, you ask me. So that's the porcupine dilemma. You can check it out. Acustometalis plectris, honestly don't know it. People have asked for that one. I remember I did one stream on Twitch where I practiced the whole thing and just did it piece by piece, and I finally learned it live on stream, but it's been a while. Yeah, no, that's the porcupine dilemma is pretty much the human condition. The porcupine paradox. Because then I want to find this other quote. He talks about how, people are taught to keep their distance. So wait, Schopenhauer. To keep your distance. Yeah. So I mean, people want. There's this surface level narrative of people long for this. You can find that sort of thing, but when they actually go and they try to actually, to get that, then all these other paradoxes emerge, and you're like, oh, what's going on here? So what we have, as usual. That's why they say if you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, and that's because you have one layer of narrative, which is the one that we believe is taking place, that we adhere to and we repeat in order to make life seem tolerable. And so what that does is it brings the things from the ideal world into the real world in the imagination, which is, when I say imagination, that's achieved by projecting narrative and trying to believe it together that this is actually really happening. And then we suppress the reality that no such thing is actually taking place, which is why if you're one of those aware, conscious folks that likes to bring that shit up and ruin people's day, well, they're going to attack you or try to make you feel as though you're crossing some sort of line. And why have to be so sour about the situation? We're just trying to get along here. And here I remember, with your negative thoughts, you think that you're going to get it, right? I mean, isn't it interesting? When people say that, they're like, if you think negatively, you're going to get it. So be careful. You've been cautioned. Cut that out. Don't say that. But then if you try positive thinking to try to summon things in your life that you do want, and you go around beaming thoughts into the universe and it doesn't happen, you're like, well, look, I took your advice. I thought about some stuff I wanted. I thought about it every day for half a year. They're like, well, what do you think? You think you just think about something and it happens? Dummy. What do you think this is? You see, it goes from, you don't tell us the shit we don't want to hear, because you're definitely going to get that. And that's why you're suffering, because you're a turd and because you thought those thoughts. And then if you go, oh, I'm sorry, let me repent, terribly sorry, I want to think good thoughts, I don't want these things to happen. And then you say, oh, well, I thought those thoughts and it didn't happen. What's going on? And then what do they say? Well, of course, what do you think? You think about something and it happens, you dummy? Right? That's the thing. And so that's just an example of how the human collective punishes people for noticing these things. That we have one narrative, which is the world of ideals, and our attempt to control reality through this optimism bias is sort of is trying to bring the world of ideals into the real world through narrative projection. So we tell the story to each other all the time that this is happening. You bet it is. How you doing? This is definitely happening for you. Good. We're all good. This is happening. But then if someone says, well, hold on a second, I don't feel that this is happening. I mean, all the evidence seems to show that that's not the state of affairs here. And then they're like, penalty. There's that Invasion of the Body Snatchers shriek, where they identify you, and it's like, hey, listen, do not disturb our attempts to control reality with our thoughts. We're not doing this observational consciousness shit, this truth shit. We don't want to hear that, right? And then you get socially punished for it. There we go. That was, I just went a bit of a tangent there. You see what I mean? Okay, hold on here. Okay, so Myarchev, I cannot play Acoustic Metalis Plectris well enough for you to enjoy it. To be honest, people are waking up to this theory. Great answer. And Chili Illy. Well, thank you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the €2. If you notice, I don't go around asking for super chats. I just do my thing and they just appear. And if they do, if they don't, whatever. Because I don't do the whole, hi, and he's coming in hot with the super chat. How you doing? And be sure to like and subscribe. Whatever. I don't do that. Like and subscribe or don't. Because this shit's going down either way. If people want to hang out, well, then I'll hang out. But yeah, so you hear what I'm saying, though, about that whole, the myth. So essentially, when someone says to you that you get what you focus on, that's a metaphysical claim about the universe. It basically hints at the fact that you, to some degree, summon realities by projecting thoughts. But it's interesting that the rules about when that works changes. You see what I'm saying? It changes when, at first, it's, if you bring up that certain things don't appear to be real, they're like, well, of course they're not going to be if you think like that, dummy. Of course it wouldn't be real. Like, what's this evil thinking of yours? It's so down. It's down. But then, but I took your advice. I thought about it. I projected all the goodness into the universe and was feeling good about it. And I was like beaming it out of me like a Care Bear. And then they're like, well, I mean, you're just naive, bud. You think you just think and then stuff happens? And then it flips towards you being presumptuous about the universe. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just noticing, I mean, people have their own theories about whatever was happening in reality. But I happened to notice that. That the rules about thought summoning reality changes according to what you're trying to summon. And so the claim that they're truly making is that negative thoughts are guaranteed to produce, to come into existence. But not ones that you might prefer to see happen. They're good, right? And everyone has their own reason or belief as to why that might be the case, or whether it exists or whether it doesn't. I'm just saying. I happen to notice that. Okay, gotta go to the washroom. Why? Well, because I had this large coffee before I started. So I'm going to put this on break for 1 sec. I'm going to pick a tune. Okay, I'm going to play a tune while I just revamp and get ready to keep going here. I'm going to put on, hold on a second. I'm going to put on the Carrot Anemia remix while I go, and I'll be back in a couple minutes, and then we'll keep going. And I hope you enjoyed my little tangent on thoughts summoning reality and the rules and how it changes. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Okay, got all refreshed. Practicing a little bit of that was going on. That's the Carrot Anemia remix. That's one of my favorite ones that, in terms of how it turned out. Now I'm starting to relax a bit. I can actually dig into the strings and I can see the space between the notes better now rather than just like, getting hyper at the beginning when I first started to play. Because it wasn't natural for me to play in front of other people. Like I used to just, when I first started playing in front of people, it was like immediate, blood would run cold, hands would like tense up and curl inwards. Yeah, being around lots of people was actually like rather a stressful experience. As I said before, when I went to the cafeteria for the first time, probably somewhere, maybe it was like 7 or something, for some I don't know, lunch event at school. It was like shocking. All this, it sounded like a screaming zoo. And it was so uncomfortable for me that I would sometimes leave school in the middle of the day. I'd go out for recess and I'd wait till no one was looking, and I would just like bolt, leave, go to a friend's place, and then they would call them, they would file a missing persons report, and then the cops would be looking for me, and then caused a bit of a stir. That's how I used to deal with things. I'd be like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. As for the Raiden costume, I got the hat in the other room. I did crack it out on a couple of streams, but I didn't, not lately. Maybe someday. If the demand is excessive. So. Yeah, Vex Boo's got it. Yeah, I was like, I'm getting the hell out of here, man. Was not a big fan of that. It was like so loud. All the strange giggling and horseplay sounds. It was like a full-on assault. So yeah, I would more than once I would just leave school in the middle of the day. But I mean, at the age where you're not supposed to, because it's one thing if someone doesn't show up to class in high school, but if a 7-year-old doesn't come back from recess, I mean, people are going to be like, okay, we need to do something about this. And I didn't even think of that. I didn't care. I'm like, you do what the hell you want. I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with this. It's too noisy. Okay, now. I like open C minor, if we're talking about the alternate ones, yeah. Cameron Anderson, sending this to say thank you. Well, thank you. Thanks for hanging out and listening. For tolerating all of my tangents that I go on. Makes it easier for me to stream, actually, if I can talk in between playing and not just be like, peace, silence, like, or a piece of me, play a song, total silence, play a song, total silence. Then it's really formal, and then it actually makes it more stressful if I can at least let some of that stress out by talking and saying some things. It's easier on me, right? Even though it might be not entirely professional. But we're in a new dimension now. The shit's being rewritten. That's how it rolls. We're in a new dimension now. Okay, now, country style etude, I got that one ready. And then, yeah, I was kind of working with like a time 2, and then it kind of segues into time 3. And the reason I do that is because I can like modulate the key, modulate the theme twice, so that I get to play more of it, and it sort of extends the piece, so it's a bit more interesting. Yeah, I'll try and stay away from the topics that people attach a lot of hope to. Not recently, Miarchev, that I jammed with Gareth Pearson recently. No, I haven't seen him since when was that? Was it the beginning of 2023? Probably the Christmas, yeah, he came over for Christmas, actually. New Year's, yeah. Was it Christmas or New Year? I think it was Christmas, actually. Yeah, it's been a while. He's been busy. Do I like playing electric? Okay, so think Makara U5G with electric. I mean, the thing with that is that, I've got 2. I have what the hell is that one called? A Kaizen. I got a 7-string Kaizen, and I've got like an XLT XTS Godin. What is it called again? I want to look this up. I need to remember the guitars that I actually have here. The XTSA. I have the Godin STXA. And I guess the reason I haven't gotten too into it is because to really get into electric and have it sound good, you have to play it a lot so that like the feel is like, I don't know, very present, and you have to practice it a certain way, certain type of picking, certain type of touch. And to play it at a good level, I'd have to devote so much practice time to it. But I have this other thing that I want to do. And so I ultimately accept that I can't like do all those things well at the same time. And I go, well, got to go with with a repertoire that I have to prepare to play. Although if there's something I want to record, I'll devote practice time just to getting good at that one thing to do that. But so much acoustic playing has trained my fingers and everything, and just the feel itself, to expect a certain response. And it feels alien to me, to a degree. I have to reload the chat window. It just crashed. Here we go. 1 second. Okay. All right, now. Pull that window back up. Okay. And be sure it's still, oh, hold on, reload. Oh, it's still going, good, okay. Sorry, I just got an error message because the memory ran out on the page. Okay, good to go. I gotta oil that thing with some WD-40. I'm tired of that sound. Can I do style etude in C? Fico Japet, welcome. Yeah, I'm gonna WD-40 that thing, so it doesn't sound like someone's opening the door in a Nightmare on Elm Street dream. That sounds like the basement in Nightmare on Elm Street. That swinging, squeaking arm of the mic stand. All right, so maybe I should do some tunes on the, like some of the stuff when I first started the stream. Live streaming on a regular basis. I mean, here's the thing with that is that, I guess I would run out of repertoire, and it takes a bit of time to like include other pieces into it, and I could practice them. But maybe that's better for Twitch. Yeah, maybe it's better to do practice sessions on Twitch rather than YouTube. Maybe because they might get bored of seeing the same thing, or things that are developing are not ready to play. Cool musicians I'm listening to. Oh, okay. Here, I'll post my playlist again for Kevink 8809. Here we go. Okay, no. There. Okay, I gotta make sure I pause that. Okay, there. I don't want other people's music blasting through here and then copyright strike. No need for that. Okay, so there's my playlist. That's the cool stuff that I'm listening to right now. All right, let me just think here. So I'll do a few more. And this one sounds like a confident French person entering the room and doing like a bit of a dance or synchronized movements, saying very confident things in French. You probably could hear that if you listen closely. Angela's Happy from the 2009 self-titled album. So what is it? November 15th, playing at the Saguenay Guitar Festival in Jean Crier, I think. Next to Chicoutimi, next to Saguenay. And then I think in Woodstock, New Brunswick, at a place called the Fidelio Cafe, sometime, I think the following Saturday, if all goes well. And I'll have some locals in my own town coming to check that one out too. Okay, now is there anything else before I switch up guitars? Let me just think here. No, I think we're good. Yeah, I can come back to this later. Okay, 1 second here. Let me just switch up. In time, 'cause you know, yeah, that it's true. Time to embrace those demons. Time to embrace those demons. Yeah, ain't nothing you can do. End times. All right. There's some end times jingle for you. One day we'll do rate the jingle. Okay, now. There was only 4 people here when I started. So I'm going to play some of the stuff that I played at the beginning. So, and this is open D down a semitone. And with these extra hard tension strings, I find that I can actually get some response out of the slide. When normally wouldn't really work on a nylon string, but it kind of... Yeah, so it kind of works. It can, with glass anyway. I don't know if it would work well with a metal slide. But one that I start off with is always Paganini's Whiskey. Wanted to bring that one back. Did I just WD-40 out of stream? Let me just take a look here. It looks like it's still going on from what I'm seeing on my end here. Yeah. Says the connection's good. Yeah, so we'll just keep going until total failure. Oh, but it is possible. Oh, you know what might happen is if the Starlink hops satellites, it could disconnect. And if I'm in the middle of a song, and I'll notice and I'll just reconnect when I'm done. second here. Do I ever cyanide? Do I freestyle jam? I mean, sometimes maybe if I'm trying to write something, or if I go into maybe like playing mode, like when I'm kind of detached from trying to consciously shape something, maybe a bit, to try and maybe if I find a new idea, to a degree. But no, I wouldn't say jamming probably isn't my thing. Blues, no, I don't play blues marchev. I can play a bit of bluegrass style sort of stuff. But yeah, not as a general rule, no. Okay, wash away I wanted to do. Let's take a look here. Okay, let's keep this going. How long are we at this now? An hour 54 minutes. Started at like 4, a little shortly after 4 in the morning, and we're still going. All right. I want to do wash away, because that one I changed how the fingering of it. So for example, it was with a hammer on, but now I do, because the hammer on was kind of weird with the nylon strings for some reason. I don't know. So hammer on, index, thumb, as opposed to, I made these little changes when switching to nylon string for a lot of the stuff that I used to do on steel. Yeah, no, that one's actually fun to play. It used to be in the set list years ago and then dropped it and then brought it back within the last year, actually. Stopped playing it. Okay, no, Rubens Train, and don't remember a lot of it. What does it do again? I have to simulate a bend because I can't actually bend the full tone with a nylon string. And then something like that. Something like that. And then what is the, it goes from here. Yeah, and I haven't done it on a nylon string, I think because it's the bends. Because you have to bend a full tone. And in order to bend a full tone up here, you'd have to like probably bring the string like almost to like where the fifth string is, the second string. You have to bend it so far. And I probably was doing it too fast. There. In the first 3 frets. Okay, now, espresso machine. Oh, very nice, very nice. A new espresso machine. How do you like that? And it's brewing them up right now. Okay, so radioactive, yeah, so I did a bit of Rubens Train. If I wanted to really figure that one out, I'd probably just practice some of the key parts and I have to figure out how to substitute the bends, right? Because, I mean, bending a full tone, I mean, there's no way. I mean, that's excessive, right? So I'd have to substitute with a slide. I'd probably hold this note, first finger, and then slide the third finger up to substitute for the bend. And that would, you know. Hold on. Yeah, and I almost push it out of tune, too. So yeah, that's what I would do. Because I don't want to bend like that far. It's too much of a gesture. Like digging in that hard, it would throw me off. Okay, wait. On the seal string, it's much easier because it's the responsiveness of the steel string itself. They're made to be bent, you might say. Or the material that they are lends itself to being able to bend them with more control. So yeah. Yeah, no, with the nylon string, I have to like go it's like the amount that I would have to bend a tone on the nylon string on a steel string would be like 3 tones. Yeah, it would probably break the string if I went the same distance. And not only that, with nylon string, they tend to go out of tune. You start bending them. So I substitute, like I do the same thing in my nightmare. With the bend. Oh wait, what am I thinking? It's in the other tuning. But yeah. And as opposed to bending, I just do on the nylon string, yeah. Okay, so we'll do bounce 2 again. And then maybe Blackberry Blossom, and then we'll see whatever comes down the pipe. Yeah. Did I move? I didn't move to this place because of the birds. That was just sort of like a side effect. I came here because it's like trying to get a place in Toronto or even to rent. Forget that. So I got this shack, and I fixed this thing up. I mean, I'll tell you how I replaced the septic field myself. Like I remember when the sewage system backed up shortly after I moved in, and it's like, well, that's what you get when you go to a cheaper place, bud. And so I bought a mattock, I bought a pickaxe, and like a good shovel, and like a wheelbarrow, and I dug up the whole front lawn, took the pipe out, you know what I mean, replaced the pipe, so that my sewage system could work again. But I mean, as part of that's an ugly chord. So the birds was just kind of like, well, I'm next to the forest now. Let's try it out. Put the bird feeder like on the other side of that window right there. And then, no, it was actually, the first thing was a hummingbird feeder directly outside the window. Fed the hummingbird by hand. Then October came around, started with the chickadees, and then I just obsessed on it for a number of years, 5-6 years. And I don't go out as much because I guess I discovered that I know how to do it now. So I don't have to stand out there all year to make it happen. I just know that it's a seasonal thing, and the birds' personalities change according to the season. So if I want certain birds, I have to go at certain times, and I have to read the weather and where they're at in terms of if they show up, because they don't always show up every rotation of seasons. Like the pine grosbeak, sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't. The local birds, there's always a regular rotation. Like the grackles come and leave at a certain time. Same with the woodpeckers, all the local ones. But the ones that migrate, like evening grosbeaks and like they'll head up further north. The evening grosbeaks and the pine grosbeaks, they'll head up north and then come back certain times of the year. But I know how to do it according to the time. So yeah, I don't do it as much, but the birds was just kind of like a creative endeavor that I took upon myself just because of where I was. Let's see here. Bluebird blanks. Soloing. Let me just think so I can understand this. With my picking style, how do I approach soloing? I'm able to make a big, let's say, major scale on 3 octaves, classical 3 notes per string. I mean, there's some of that in. 1 second here. There's some of that in some Paganini that I play, but I don't think I actually solo. I write stuff. So I mean, yeah. So there is some stuff where I will do that sort of thing. It's in some Paganini nylon stuff. Not that I wrote that, but then some. Where else would it emerge? Yeah, like this is sort of like an element of a solo, I guess. Or yeah, so soloing, I don't really solo. I write, meaning that I don't improvise. I don't really bust into a solo. And I mean, the reasons for that probably are just who I am as a person. I wasn't antisocial. I was more asocial. There's a difference. Like I wasn't like going into social situations for the purposes of disrupting them. I was just avoiding them. So there's social forms of music, bluegrass, gypsy jazz, that involve musically socializing with people. And so because I wasn't very social, that means that I developed a style that it didn't really take into account soloing in terms of, okay, now it's my turn to talk, and then now it's your turn to talk. You see what I mean? So that's why I don't really solo, because I'm always soloing, even if I'm playing rhythm, so to speak. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, but the Molten Anguish, the soloing is still kind of, it's written. It's all, because I had to keep the writing exact with like the other guitar parts that were going on in it. So yeah, I don't know I don't know the Chinese Butterfly Song by Remy Boucher. I had a couple lessons with him over the years. Once when I was like in my 20s at a classical guitar, like some sort of weekend retreat kind of a thing up in Domaine Forget, Quebec, wherever that was. It's probably about 3 hours north of me. And then I went to his place in 2020, I think it was. to take a lesson. And he's got some really interesting techniques, but I don't know, you'd have to really devote yourself to it in order to play to do what he does. And that was weird at that classical guitar retreat called Domaine Forget in the year 2000. Was it 2001? Yeah, I think it was. Or 02. Everyone was playing classical guitar. Everyone was like playing Rodrigo, Scarlatti, Paganini. And then we would have master classes with these guys, Fabio Zanon, Remy Boucher, and Patrick Roux, I believe. Sly critique. Have a good one. You're welcome. Leafy Beans Incorporated. What time is it? It is 6:21 a.m. I started at 4 a.m. And so when I first started, probably wasn't playing my best, but I'm starting to feel a bit better now because I always get hyper when I first start to play. When I first start, that's when the adrenaline just goes boing, and I'm like, I have to relax all of these, the attempts of the abdominal region to because that's where it happens actually. I think the hormonal releases of anxiety or adrenaline or whatever, I think there's something you can feel your gut move and then your brain connects to it. And yeah, so I have to it'll start moving and then I have to you can't try to, you have to just let it move rather than react to it and try and go, no, we're not doing that. Because if you do that, it's over. What difference do I see before explosion of social media and after in general? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, so leafy beans. We'll get back to that. Leafy beans, I'm up early all the time. I go to bed early. Went to bed at 6 p.m. yesterday. Got up at almost 2 a.m. today. And I'm trying to bring that forward because we're about to go through daylight savings. And if I was going to bed at 4 p.m., that'll turn into 3 p.m. Then it gets ridiculous, right? So I'm trying to move that ahead. And then back to John, hold on. Back to Miarchiev in terms of explosion of social media and after in general. Oh man, that's its own essay. Because I remember the internet before, the whole world was on it. When it was a place where asocial folks like myself used to go and find other people like us. And it was a realm that was it was the secret nerd realm, the secret asocial realm. Yeah. So I guess the difference is now everyone's on it, which means that yeah, that's its own topic. I use John Bob poker. Here, let me see, nails. There we go. There they are, thumbnail. And then I use these nail buffers. I get them at the dollar store. And I'll go in, I'll buy 25 at a time. And they're like, okay, we'll just ring that up for you. I'm not going to ask what that's all about. Because I'll go in there, it's the only thing I buy. I go right to the thing, boom, 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 take 20 of them in the basket, go right up, and how you doing? And they don't even ask me. They're just doesn't matter. It's kind of like if you go and you throw a banana and some baby oil and a few cucumbers on the conveyor belt, and they're like, what's this for? You know? They don't do that to me. Different time zone from Maine. Yeah, so in Maine, it's 5:24 a.m. Me, it's 6:24 a.m. Let's see here. 5% ashwagandha. I think I tried that for a while. I tried some ashwagandha for a while. I don't know if it was the magic cure for me. What part of your Didi La Compote? What part of your playing would you want to improve if you had to take a lesson? I would probably ask for probably just classical specific interpretation, because there's a certain point where it's even if you know what to do, it becomes psychology rather than practice of guitar, which is what I've said to some students that I've had when they explain things like, how do I get over feeling a certain way? And I said, well, sometimes the answer is actually in just personal, just psychology rather than playing guitar or practicing. Because even if it's practiced and it can be played well alone, there's just new processes that emerge from within the body when you're in a social environment with other people, and those factors sort of interfere with whatever has been practiced into routine. And so then you actually have to practice in that environment, and then that's a whole other thing. And depending on who you are as a person, your physiology, you might react to the presence of others more intensely than other people do. Some people, it's very natural. They love, they're around other people, they get charged with energy and they can play and they can focus. For me, it's like trying to play in a hurricane. No problem with the question. So we're all good. Canadian dollar store, still $1. Yeah, no, it is Dollarama, I think. And no, they're $2.50. They're $2.50. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. These other factors that come into play, and then everyone's own, whether it's determined psychology, or environment that shaped them, or the combination of their biology and their environment, whatever those factors may or may not be. Absolutely, we can just say that those are the things that kind of introduce themselves when you're playing in front of other people, where it's a totally different world than when you're practicing alone. I like smaller audiences. I remember I did this festival in Rouyn-Noranda in Quebec. It was a well-known guitar festival, and it was actually uncomfortable because the room was like pretty full, and it was like a big stage, and it was on. And I went up there, and I was just like, I got knocked out by the adrenaline, and so my hands started doing weird things, and yeah, I mean, so for me, I react to those things. Okay. All right. So, so Bob is saying that the ashwagandha that they sell over the counter, you got to get the hardcore stuff where you got to pay the import duties on it. Rulos 7664. Favorite place I've played? I don't know if I have a favorite, but let me just think about that. I don't know. Probably some places in Germany. I had some good times there. Arizona was pretty cool. They had a place called Studio Live in Sedona. That was a cool place to play. I remember that. That was nice. Nice kind of, they had this like backyard area that was like out in the open with like view of the Arizona, like Red Rock and stuff. That was pretty nice. Nice dressing room. Yeah. When I write a song, do I imagine a main riff for it, or is there something else that develops when you're writing? From Arthur SKC. And before I get there, Greg, no, not watching the baseball. I actually haven't been watching that. But back to what Arthur asked. Do I imagine a main riff? Yeah, it's usually that, or like a melody maybe, but it's usually a riff. And then I'll sit on that, and then sometimes one of the problems is if you get a riff that's good on its own, you have to develop, then you have to do, you have to write the context for it, right? Which can actually be more difficult than like starting with context and then the riff comes out of it. And a lot of the stuff that I've written is actually that, where it's like a riff that you either like if the riff you start out with is too strong of a statement and it has too much of the good feelings in it, there's nowhere to build to. It's like, all right, you've already done it, right? So then it's like sometimes I've had to write backwards. Riff, that comes to me, and then I go, well, how am I going to arrive here and make that like a place that we're going to, and not just like condensing it into like a 15-second, I don't know, dopamine neurological experience. That's the thing, writing backwards. Yeah, the live streams maybe don't drain me as much as face-to-face. They can. When I first started, after it's been a while, yeah. So Nutmeg was asking, yeah, do the live streams drain me as much as in person? Perhaps not, but they can, as I said, when I first get into it. New music before Christmas? Maybe not. I would say probably not. With the way it's going now, because I got those shows I got to kind of get ready for. But yet again, whatever music might or might not come usually happens on its own. And so I might be apprehended, in other words. That can happen. Because sometimes it'll just be like this pressure. It's like, and then I'll have to obsess on it to figure out what it is that I'm receiving, which can happen. Performing in Korea, Myarchev. That'd be nice. But I mean, you got to understand the logistics of it, right? You got to understand the logistics of how many people there really know what I do, the cost of promoting such an event. If they did promote it, would they be like, oh yeah, I want to go see that? Or would it just be like a poster, like, that just, yeah, I don't know. So then it becomes like small groups of people that like would fund it or something. And that's with the cost of travel. Yeah. So that's why tours don't happen, because I'm not really trending. Okay, now see if I can play again. Bounce 2, and then I want to switch. talked about that. Now, I think we'll switch up again. Maybe do some stuff with the pick. Yeah. Give the right hand a break. Okay, yeah, let's do that. 1 second here. Okay, there. Switched up. Okay, so that was the Hora din Moldova remix. Here, I'll post that. 1 second here. Let's find it on my channel here. Where is this? Here we go. Wait. Here it is. There we go. Pull this window up. So Mintish, that's it right there. Okay, now. Use some of this. Try to get used to playing with the pick again now. Yeah, I'm all ready for winter. I even got all the leaves raked and mowed, tossed them on the garden. Firewood's ready to go. And so, I mean, that's it. I'm ready to roll. And I adjusted the frequency. There's too much bass with the mic'd acoustic before, but it's better now. We'll get back to that one. All right, now Pumpkins, a new short one that I wrote. I've got to reload the page again. I keep on getting memory crashes in the browser. Yeah, this is a Seagull, a Peppino D'Agostino model. And the reason I like it is because the extra space between the strings. Neck isn't quite as thick as I'd like it to be, but I like the extra space. But yeah, no, Picking the Pumpkins is actually the newest one that I wrote, maybe sometime in like June or July. Minor. And it sort of sounds like gypsy jazz maybe a bit here. And back to C major. That one is called this. You know what? I could make the tab available later today. Yeah, I could do that. It's not up there yet, but I could do that, yeah. Okay, so it's that one, and then there's another one. There. Moon River Reel from The Pit of Despair, I think. Yeah, so we had Insomnomania. I recorded, before I moved to Newfoundland in 2015, I had like 4 songs for Insomnomania recorded, packed up my stuff, as much as I could cram into a Honda CRV, and then just left everything, abandoned stuff. A lot of it was sold. And finished recording that, and then I went directly into the Pit of Despair, because being in that basement in Newfoundland was kind of like being in the Pit of Despair. But then there was little joyous moments too at times. It was like alternating between like, really dark times and pretty fun times. Because in order to not become a full-blown alcoholic, or a full-blown alcoholic smoking cigarettes all the time, and it's probably due to just how isolated I was there and the fact that there's not a lot of sunlight there. I had to be a workaholic just to keep myself focused, or else I would have went right off the rails. So part of extreme workaholism is ups and downs. Woo, like high and then low, high and then low. Yeah, that's one of the side effects of extreme workaholism. Carapiet from World Candies. Do I remember that one? Oh, what does it go? No, I don't remember it, but I want to take a look at it to see if it comes to me at all in any way. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so what do I remember of Carapiet? Come on, let's go. All right, da 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 da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, no, that one could be pulled back at some point, but you need the rhythm behind it, or else it just doesn't have the same, feel. But yeah, a good balance is always best. But good luck. Well, it depends. I mean, it's a bit better now with I think I like where I'm at right now in terms of in the country and not subjected to city madness. But no, workaholism can actually be like a way of sort of like paying a price to like avoid some greater fate. In a way. I don't mean greater as in like a better alternative. I mean like a worse fate. Yeah, sorry, that's a better. Yeah, sometimes being a workaholic can save you from like a worse fate. Steve Howe. No, I don't know any Steve Howe. Did I ever play harp guitar? No, I tried one, but I couldn't get into it. It wasn't my thing. And what did he say previously? What's the context? Oh, right, the Millville piece. The dental floss guitar was someone else's guitar. It wasn't mine. Mintish is asking about the dental floss guitar. That was someone else's, and they strung it with dental floss because they were promoting a product that they had patented. It was a dental product, and there was a promotional thing to help promote his product. So it was ultimately a work for hire. Don't have the 7-string out, just the riff for a short piece. I don't have the 7-string. What does it do again? Here's the thing. I wrote that on 6-string first before playing it on 7-string. So Didi Le Compote regarding short piece. And that was the original fingering of it, but I forget what it does after that. Yeah. Da, da, da. just forget the fingerings exactly for the 6-string version. But yeah, I actually wrote it on 6-string. I haven't played 7-string in a while. I haven't really been into it. The red emerald guitar was built by, and this is from Evan Williams. Yeah, the red emerald guitar was a custom job they did, and they had this part of the guitar was like dipped inwards, so I could do that slap thing without hitting the surface. Fiberglass guitar, really good for not changing shape. Or wait, that's not the best way of saying it. It was really good for, I guess, being stable among different environments because it was a fiberglass guitar. And yeah, it was good. It did its job really well. But I'm trying to remember how I did that. Okay, I'll do Folk Caprice number 2 because that one was practiced. Oh, the Fanfret steel guitar, the steel string guitar, yeah, the made by the PRS Guitar Factory. Probably because I wasn't playing fingerstyle anymore. Dan Voth has that now, and so I had these guitars that I just wasn't using anymore, and so I was like, just kind of let them go. Feathers and Snow, not too much of it, no. No, that's and I shouldn't be doing it in drop D. Okay, now. Still got 48 viewers, pretty cool. There's no games that I play currently, Marchiev. Like I said, I used to play Unreal Tournament, but as I said, they started playing really late, and the game kind of died out actually because Epic withdrew their investment in it entirely. They shut down all the servers, and then the people that saved it actually did so just out of their own love for the game. They funded the server to keep it so you could actually keep playing it. Try that one. Okay, let's see here. Wim den Herder play Botan Anna, Oblivion. Nope, haven't heard that. Blood and Ice, nah. I mean, I dabbled around with some of the themes on the nylon string with a pick, but maybe when I get back to it, I can do a bit of it when I go back to the nylon in the open C tuning. Okay. Silver Frost. Yeah, haven't brought Silver Frost back since I recorded it. I don't know. Just never really. Because there was, with Silver Thaw, there was just too much. It was dependent on the other rhythms. Whatever it was, you need the other rhythms to get it to sound good. Let's see here. Okay, Alan Lant from Russia. But you're not Russian. Okay, 14 years ago. Okay, cool. Well, glad you like it. Hey, if it served you well, good stuff. Run with it. But yeah, Silver Thought, never actually performed that one. Yeah, no, because that was just the deal, honestly, because I was all about, for the first few years, it was all like, practicing everything, but then like to keep it ready to perform. But then something happened where there was too many things I wanted to write and play, and then I couldn't like have all of them ready as a performance repertoire. So I just went into recording and then picked certain ones to play. And also, there really wasn't anywhere to play it. Like no one, like I wasn't really in demand to have any reason to like learn my new stuff to play it anywhere. I ended up learning a lot of that stuff. Like for example, I played Bangor Integration Therapy, played the Fifth Caprice a couple times. And what else? Razorium and some of these pieces. And I was like putting all this work into learning them, but it became this sort of like fantasy of like, I want to learn this piece and go and drop it at an open mic or something. But, there was really nowhere to play it. I wasn't in demand, so I just went into recording. And so some of the stuff that I've done, I would just practice it obsessively alone, record it, and then just like move on. You see what I mean? Well, I suppose there would be a way to do it. Yeah, I mean, there probably is a way to do it without it, but I just never got around to learning it. Because it's a time investment too, right? I could do it, but it would be like I have these shows coming up, and if I want to play Silver Thaw well, I'm going to have to devote some time to it. Definitely some time and labor to play it well. And I remember learning Blue Rose pretty decently, but there's nowhere really to play it. Tuning. Yeah, with that one, I don't even remember it. I forget the rest of it. Da, da, da. Yeah, I know. And then it goes into that C minor part, but I haven't played it. But yeah, I learned some of it, but then I just play it a lot alone. It would reach a certain level, and then there just wasn't a demand to play it live, and so I don't know. And then I would get more stuff that I wanted to write, and then I would just like obsess, record it, and then obsess on the next piece, record it. We also have to factor in something else, which is that when guitarists construct a set list, it has to be done so strategically according to energy levels. And I probably wasn't doing that. I was just writing all this stuff that was like really high intensity. But you don't necessarily play a full hour and a half of that stuff live. So for example, even when Paganini played live, it would be no more than 40 minutes at most of him playing, usually 35 minutes from what I read. And it would start off with like the orchestra doing a movement of like a Mozart concerto or something. Some other guy would play it, and then some themes from a Rossini opera, overtures. Then there would be a break, and then it would get dim, and then Paganini would make an appearance, and then he would play usually a concerto, like maybe an introductory piece, theme and variations, like Carnival of Venice, maybe a concerto, or maybe just the concerto, and then one encore. Like I heard that he would play Movimento Perpetuo as an encore. I read that. And so it has to do with the energy levels of the whole set list. And so because I was working with such high intensity stuff, I wasn't really thinking according to crafting a set list. And so I have to sort of pick what I'm going to be doing strategically, I guess, because a lot of it requires obsessive focus to get it to a playable level. And I was doing a lot of that, obsessing on it, recording it, obsessing on the next thing, recording it. But I mean, if I have like 15, 20 pieces that are like that, I can't play boom, boom, boom all in a row at the same time, because when they were recorded, it was a result of full devoted, every ounce of my strength in being focused on that one angular point of that piece. But if you're doing a full, like a full-on set list, then you have to structure the set list according to energy levels, where not all the pieces should be maximally difficult, because that's just the human factor. So that's part of what I ran into is that some people like some of the high intensity stuff, but if I really want to bring it to a playable performance level, then I have to basically section off like 2-3 hours a day just to resurrect that one piece and then do the work of playing it live in front of people. Yeah, obsess, record, forget, but not in all cases, because I mean, Winter by the Sea was never played live for a while. And then I'm like, all right, we're going to do this. And then I focus in on it and then play it. So if I really focus in on it, I can do it. But I mean, it has to do with the energy levels, the energy required for the set list. Now, let me pull up, because Blue Rose, okay, where are we here? Complete tab, where are we? Because I can remember I just can't remember the C minor part of Blue Rose. That's on here, isn't it? It's on Tribunal of Penance. I don't even know what albums my stuff are on. It goes into that riff of and then so on. But the main one I wanted to focus on was when it goes from the C major yeah, it does that thing at the end. Now that's a weird part right there. Hold on, where are we? 1 second here. Yeah, no, Blue Rose, I had that figured out for a while in terms of ready to play, but then it just kind of fades away and I started practicing Scarlatti or something. So anyway. So I can play these things better, but because you have to understand that what you're listening to, when you hear like the recorded versions, that's the result of me obsessing on something and doing shit tons of takes of it and just completely focusing all energy into one piece. Now you have to understand the amount of focus it would take to do that couldn't be spread across 10, 15 songs in a playlist, which is why when the guitarists structure a set list, they throw in some slow songs, maybe some stuff that isn't, you don't want to stack your set list with everything that's at the top of your ability. What you do, like even Paganini would do this, reserve certain portions of the set list, and his performances are no more than like 40 minutes max. And then you would maybe do one encore that was like max ability or something like max speed. And then a few songs in there that are known for being, I guess, difficult, or you see what I mean? Requiring a lot of energy. And that's how it's all or nothing type of approach. So if I were to play some of that stuff as all or nothing, I would sit there and, and I would just practice all those parts until I had them, rather than just reading them off the sheet music. Okay, now, because here's the thing, is that the technology that we have in terms, it enables us to document this information about our lives. So I can document, for example, stuff that I'm writing, and so I could have a faster workflow in terms of composition and recording and documenting it But I mean, if it were all about composing it and playing it, I would probably have less songs, not as many compositions. You see what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so what are we at right now? Okay, cool. 3 hours, and let's take a look over here. Still going. They're still going. I got some real good advanced tea lights in there. Tea light candles that are doing well. Okay. That, which I fumble through the odd man out. Yeah, no, I forgot one part in there. What was that? Because I was playing Blue Rose, and then there's a chord shape in there that was interfering with my memory of that. Okay, that was the part I was messing up right here. There. Okay, there, better. Because when I was playing it, like my mind went onto this other track where I saw another chord shape, and I'm like, it was interfering with like the memory recall of that one piece. De Lazo from the Netherlands. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Okay, Ian McCormick. That was Odd Man Out, but not the best version of it I've done. I have better recordings of it out there. Better live versions, because I forgot this one part. It was right here. There. Yeah, now if I played it, I would get it. Because I jumped right into it. Anything else? I think we're good on, I think we're going to switch it up to maybe some of that. Yeah, maybe, okay. Give me a second here. Okay, and I'm going to throw in another tune for the time being.
There was something.
What did it look like? You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me?
All right, starting to feel out of it. Starting because we 3 hours and 50. Yeah, starting to feel a bit like I need a break soon. Yes, I did play level 20 last year at a show, and I'll probably bring it back at some point soon. McCormick. Right, okay. Jollity Fantasia or Fantasia. Oh, thanks for that, Oblivion Bob 2921. Thanks for the support. Okay, so that was Luigi Lignani, a Caprice. I forget which Caprice it was. Forget it though. But yeah, that was a Lignani Caprice. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna do more classical because I'm coming up on the end. I could try it. Yeah, it was Luigi Lignani Caprice number. Hold on. Let's take a look here. It's on Signor Paganini and Friends, I believe. Caprice number 15. Yeah. Stretch these out. Turn out too good right now, and then I'll probably wrap it up. Yeah. One second, I'm going to switch. One moment here. Okay, so probably just going to do a couple more because I'm starting to get hungry now too, right? And so my gut's like interfering with my mind. So someone said something about plum and pear. I think I can do that. Okay. Rafa 666. I don't know Fall of Man anymore. That's another one that I recorded and kind of let go of. I never heard of that rumor regarding Paganini. I read a lot about his stuff. I haven't heard that. People are enjoying the Halloween morning. You know what I normally eat? Roasted squash and eggs. So you cut the squash in half, scoop everything out, crack some eggs inside it, sprinkle it with some pumpkin spice, bake it at 400 for like an hour. Yeah. Squash and eggs. Either acorn squash or butternut squash or kabocha squash, but they don't have kabocha squash right now at the store. I guess they ship it up from Mexico and it's intermittent, its availability. Okay. Can I... Okay. All right, so let's do one more and then we'll call it so I can... Can I remember? Yeah, let's just do it. All right, last one. I actually have to readjust the delay. It's not where I want it to be. I think I want it to be a bit... Okay, yeah. I just gotta play it slower. There we go. Okay. I did a little bit of the Vampires of Loosh. The intro as part of the Odd Man Out thing that I did earlier. I'll put up the... What is it? The... You know what I'll do? Okay, someone was asking about Picking the Pumpkins, that flat picking tune, and I'll put it up after the stream, and then I'll post it in YouTube community posts, the link to it. So I'll do that. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, I think we're good. 3 hours 37 minutes. All right, until the next one, I'll probably do, what will the next one be? Instagram or Twitch or something random. But you know what? I probably should take a day or two off just because of all the excess, hours and hours of playing. I've probably got to rest everything to really make it effective again. So let's see here. Is it still going? Let's take a look here. Still going. Nice. All right. Thanks for coming and hanging out. There it is. There was today. Good stuff. All right, so I'm signing off here. Thanks again. Have a good one.